Hey, good morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy. I be Sandy. You be whoever you are, and I'm glad you're here. Woohoo! We're trying an experiment today. Indy is trying to get to this show easily, and there doesn't seem to be. Oh, wait a minute. It's right there on top.
Let me see.
Oh, no, that's not it.
That's not today.
That's not today.
Today would say
We're
live.
trying to figure out how we get to live. And so far, oh, all you had to do was touch it and go like that, and there I was. That's it.
Okay, so I had to.
I just touched it.
So if I do that, then I'll get notified, or there's no notification.
I didn't see a notification. I don't know. I don't know. There has to be an easy way. Huh?
Sorry.
Okay, but here's what I did discover. Last night, I did an experiment and I tried to go on YouTube Live, and I only did it for a second. I just said goodnight and then I erased it, but it worked. So maybe we can go back to to Facebook Live. So who knows? Maybe we can go back to Facebook.
Maybe you do both.
Or maybe we can do both. I don't know. Ooh, should I try and do both? Let me see. Will that get confusing? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, this is fun. Wait a minute. Oh no, I don't want to mess with it. I want to tell you about this instead. Yesterday, Indy sent me so this is kind of like good morning, Jenny. Indy sent me a commercial that was made in like 1962 by a friend of his from Joshua Tree, well known in Joshua Tree by the name of Teddy Quinn. I think I've met him. I'm not really sure. Anyway, this is a commercial that he made when he was a little kid. He made the Bayer aspirin commercial. Stephen, this is totally for your vintage group. It's amazing. It's so cute. But what blew me away was the minute I saw him come on the commercial, I realized that I remembered this commercial from when I was a kid. I remember seeing little Teddy Quinn in this commercial. And the last line on the commercials, he says, "Mothers are like that. Yeah, they are." I think my entire childhood, we used that line in my house, but it wasn't always mothers. It would be, "Girls are like that. Yeah, they are. Boys are like that. Yeah, they are." It was always the "yeah, they are" that followed it. I had no idea that I would grow up and know the little kid who gave me "yeah, they are." So, Teddy Quinn, thank you for "yeah, they are." I know Ginny really wants Facebook Live back. We're gonna try it. I'll try it tomorrow. I promise. I'll try it tomorrow. Or maybe even later today I'll do just a quick one. Um we haven't been out to the chicken coop for a while, by the way. And hi, Indy. Oh, this is the Bayer aspirin commercial.
Cold and the doctor wants her to stay in bed. Oh, does she hurt and have some concern? No, I gave her aspirin. They're children's aspirin. That's what my mother gives me. That's because she loves you. And when you feel better, she feels better too. Mothers are like that. Yeah, they are. Always ready.
Mothers are like that. Yeah, they are. Come on, seriously. Isn't that so cute? Ginny's saying hi to Indy. Hi, Indy. No, I mean, hi, Ginny. Back. I mean, how can you not remember him? He was so adorable. So cute. Okay. Um, is it like weird that this morning I killed a mosquito in right here in my studio, and I like did one of those? When I did that, landed in my coffee. I know, gross, right? I had to get it out, but I drank my coffee anyway. I mean, come on. So, mosquitoes, did we talk about this? I remember coming to California as a kid and being so excited that we came to a place that had flies, but no mosquitoes. There were no mosquitoes. I swear to you, we had no mosquitoes in the 60s. Californians, can you back me on this? We did not have I don't know where they came from. Anyway, a couple of weeks ago, I noticed I was getting these bites and I didn't think they were from flies. I wasn't sure what they were, but they felt like mosquito bites. And then one day my neighbor came over and said, do you mind if we have someone from the, it's not mosquito abatement, it's like insect abatement, come over and check your backyard? I said, check my backyard for what? And she said, to see if there's a breeding ground for mosquitoes, because suddenly there are mosquitoes just in our little area. And I said, no, have them come over. If there's mosquitoes in my yard, I want to get rid of them. Anyway, apparently they found this, like, not in our yard, but somewhere back in there, they found like this little watery area. It was like mushy, like perfect swampy area for mosquitoes. So they drained the swamp. Yeah. Anyway. So we don't have mosquitoes again, except that we just got one. So maybe it's time for them to drain the swamp again. I don't know. What else did I write here? Oh, I'm sorry. I just went west when I saw that commercial. I just, like, do you remember Bayer's children aspirin, the orange flavored ones that you chewed? Yeah, and your mom would give you that because then you didn't have to swallow it. I don't know about you, but I think I was probably in my in my 40s before I could swallow an aspirin. I just couldn't do it. My mommy used to take 2 spoons and smash the little baby aspirin between 2 spoons and mix it with a little water. It tasted gross, but it was easier than swallowing it. I couldn't do it. Mommy's had so many good ways to make you feel better. Do you remember Vicks on your tummy? Do people still do that? She would rub Vicks all over my chest and then put a towel on top of it, and that smell was so pervasive. Yeah, and I guess it cleared your sinuses. But do you remember that? And not that it was fun to get sick, but oh, and then you didn't go to school if you had a fever. That was just the rule. And you weren't considered sick unless you had a fever. Am I right? Right? You had to have a fever to be considered sick. And if you had a fever, you were not allowed to go to school. So I can remember wanting to not go back to school and taking the thermometer and putting it on the heating pad. Yeah. Like, I'd have a heating pad for my tummy because my tummy hurt. And my mommy would take my temperature, and I knew where it was supposed to be. And if it wasn't high enough, I would put it on the heating pad to make it a little higher so I could have just one more day at home. Staying home sick was so much fun, wasn't it? I mean, if you didn't feel like really, really sick, wasn't it awesome? Because your mom would play games with you and she'd bring you food in bed. It was like, wow. Yeah. And you got to chew orange baby aspirin and get Vicks rubbed on your chest. It was all good. Okay. Today, let's get into food here for a minute. Do you want me to talk about last night's food first? Yeah. We got this coupon in the mail, and Indy decided he wanted to try the prime rib at Coco's. He said he didn't know about having a prime cut of meat at a less than prime restaurant, but we should try it. So I started looking up the I didn't realize how much difference it made what you say in your reviews on things, because we started looking up the reviews on the Coco's, which is a chain restaurant near us. The bad ones were so bad. They were so bad. Everything from the place smells like a sewer. It's disgusting. And I never got any service. And the food was rotten and spoiled. I can't believe they served it. All the way from that, to, wow, best restaurant ever. I can't wait to go back. I mean, it's like, can you believe anything you read on these things? They're so different. Anyway, it ended up with like a 4.5 out of 5. So we decided, okay, let's check it out. Because it was to try them out, buy one meal, get one meal free. Okay, let's try it out. We have nothing special to do. Oh, but we did have something special to do first. We went to the La Quinta Art Show, which is a juried art show, and it's like huge, and they have artists from all over the world come, and you can buy stuff or you can look at stuff. It's really cool. It's really cool. But I didn't find anything this year I wanted to buy. But in the past, there are all kinds of things in this very room that came from that show. I'm looking for what some of them are. Well, you just have to believe me, okay? You'll just have to believe me because it's a great art show. Most of the things, somebody sent me a message and said, "How was the art show?" I said, "It was great." And she said, "Did you buy anything?" And I wrote back and said, "No, everything I coveted was like $3,000 and up." I mean, there were things there that were like $10,000, $20,000. Well, I'm not in that bracket right now. No. Anyway, it was a fun day. So we went out to dinner at Coco's. That's where I was. I get so confused because I get excited when I start, going off in tangents. Anyway, we went to Coco's. There was this absolutely adorable, I mean, like precious young girl with she had a mask on, but you could still see that she was all freckled, and she had really long hair that was in a ponytail, but her entire hair was like rasta braided. What do you call that when you go and get your whole head braided? So she had like 4,000 braids in a ponytail like this that came down to the middle of her back, and she was tiny and bouncy, and she had this cutest little giggle. She was brand new, so she did everything wrong, but she was so adorable you could forgive her for it. Anyway, it was not perfect by a long shot, but you know what? It was great for what it was. And then when we finished, we forgot to use the coupon. So we had to say, "Hey, could you redo this cuz we have this coupon?" And the coupon was, is it coupon or coupon? I think it's coupon. Anyway, the coupon was worth like $20, so hey, bring it. Anyway, that was my experience at dinner. Oh, and Coco's makes great pies, by the way. And we brought one small piece home to share with ice cream. And it was good. Made me a little sick. We ate too much. But I have great leftovers for lunch today. And speaking of which, back on subject, she says, it's National Pizza with Everything Day except anchovies. I didn't make that up. I don't like the anchovies either, but that's what today is. It is National Pizza with Everything Day except anchovies. So there goes all the problems you had about what do you serve on Saturday. It's also National Moms and Dads Day, which means the kids should pay for and serve the pizza to you. Yeah. Or if you have elderly parents and you're lucky enough that they're still alive, you should go take care of them today. There you go. Yes, Ginny, pizza is yum. I mean, seriously, there's pizza for everybody. My daughter doesn't eat cheese, but she can still have pizza. They make pizza without cheese. You can get pizza any way you want it. Just don't get the anchovies. This blows me away. Today is World Kindness Day again. I don't know. Some of my calendars don't agree on birthdays and days and stuff, but World Kindness Day, I would celebrate it every day, wouldn't you? I mean, come on. Sadie Hawkins Day. Do you remember Sadie Hawkins Day when you were a kid? I do. I loved that day. Sadie Hawkins Day was based on Al Cap's cartoon of Little Abner. It was also, I believe, they did it as a play. They did it. I mean, I can picture it. Anyway, Lil Abner. Sadie Hawkins Day was like a turnaround day when the girls asked the boys to go out. So at school, when I was growing up, even in elementary school, we had it. We had Sadie Hawkins Day, and it was like reverse roles. Talk about being talk about being stuck in roles and what was allowed and what was not allowed. I have a feeling that today it would not be unusual for a girl to go up to a boy and say, "Hey, I'd kind of like to, hang out with you. You want to go out and get a Coke, or you want to go get a cup of coffee?" Or if you're older, like actually suggesting and asking someone out on a date. I can see that happening. But back then, taboo, my friends. Only boys ask girls. Girls did not ask boys. Girls did not ask girls. Girls did anyway. So Sadie Hawkins Day was that one day when it was turnaround was fair play and girls could ask the boys out. And you weren't allowed to be shy, Ginny. You had to go for it. So we did it. We asked boys to be our dates at the Sadie Hawkins dance, and it was so fun. Well, I remember even doing that at UCLA. I remember even doing it in college. I do. I don't know if they do it anymore. Yeah, but today apparently is Sadie Hawkins Day. So girls, go for it. Okay. It is also, I love this one. It is also Start a Rumor Day. Now, I am not suggesting that you start a rumor about someone else unless you're involved in the rumor. Because half of the fun, sorry, I got a message and I had to look at it. Because half of the fun of starting a rumor is starting a rumor about yourself. So, like, what is it that you would like people to think about you? Rumors usually are not true, by the way. So something that's plausible and possible, but not necessarily true. Like, did you hear that? Like one of those. Yeah. But see if you can start a really good rumor. Did you hear that Sandy decided she was running for President of the United States? Yeah, she's got this idea that if she can get 10,000 people to sign her petition, she can be it. Whatever. I don't care what you do, but start a rumor today. See how quickly it spreads? If it's negative, it'll spread a lot faster than if it's positive. I can tell you that. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, once I put just the words Happy Bee Day on my Facebook page, and I think it was I don't know, whatever it wasn't birthday, but it said Happy Bee Day. I got so many birthday messages that day. I guess because people know how much I love birthdays. I don't know. Speaking of which, it is Robert Louis Stevenson's birthday. He wrote Treasure Island. And he wrote Kidnapped, but did you also know that he wrote Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde? And Mr. Hyde? Mrs. Hyde. They were having an affair. Yes, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde were having an affair. Yeah. Dr. Jekyll murdered Mr. Hyde, and then he had an affair with Mrs. Hyde. I just made that rumor up. Pass it on. Whoopi Goldberg's birthday. Okay, this is so funny to me. First of all, her real name was Karen Elaine Johnson. Not quite Whoopi, right? So where did the name Whoopi come from? Well, apparently, when she was doing movies and television, it was harder and harder to get to the bathroom. This is true. And she had gas. So whenever she had the opportunity, she would relieve herself of that gas. And before you know it, she was being called Whoopi. Yeah. So she was Whoopi Goldberg. I don't know where the Goldberg came from. I could make up a rumor about that too. By the way, that's not a rumor. That I read it on the internet, so you know it's true. Happy birthday to Jimmy Kimmel. Happy birthday to Dorothy Pascal, born in 1872. Dorothy Pascal was the real live Olive Oyl from Popeye. The guy who wrote Popeye lived in this little town, and he actually created the characters based on people in his town. And Dorothy, whose birthday is today, was the real life Olive Oyl. And I saw pictures of her. She kind of looked like Olive Oyl. She dressed like Olive Oyl, you know, with the high collared kind of frilly little thing here. And she had long, skinny arms. Anyway, that was the real life Olive Oyl. Gary Marshall, who like directed or acted or wrote or produced pretty much every really popular comedy show in the, I guess that would be the late 60s, 70s, something like that. Happy birthday to you. Okay, here's your football trivia for today. In 1875, the first football game with uniforms was played. Yale versus Harvard. Harvard was an all crimson, including their socks, and the Yaleys had yellow hats, not helmets, yellow hats, and blue shirts and dark colored trousers, uniforms. Yeah. Happy birthday in 1718 to John Montague, who was the fourth Earl of Sandwich. And after him were named the Sandwich Isles. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, what we now refer to and eat as a sandwich, named for him because he liked to gamble. And to allow himself more time for gambling, I'm moving this to try and get that thing out of my eye. But is that where it's coming from? Ah, it's coming from there. So if I go, nope, I can't get rid of it. Sorry. Anyway, the Earl of Sandwich. He liked to gamble, and in order for him to spend more time gambling and less time eating, he put a piece of like hardtack or something like that between two pieces of bread and called that a sandwich. Yeah. And then he got more creative, I guess, and started doing BLTs. I don't know. 1973, Elsa Schiaparelli died. Elsa Schiaparelli, she was like a big fashionista. She gave us two things that I am very grateful for. Number one is she was the first one, I know this sounds weird, but she was the first one to put zippers in clothing. Thank you, Elsa. But even more important, she gave us, are you ready? Drum roll. Shocking pink. We can thank her for the color shocking pink. I mean, I'm sure the color already existed, but not in clothes apparently until Elsa got on the number. 1789. That famous quote by Benjamin Franklin was said, "Nothing is certain except death and taxes." That was Benjamin Franklin. Yeah. On this day. Also on this day in 1940, the Disney musical Fantasia came out. Did you ever actually watch Fantasia? It's animated and it's not my favorite Disney movie, but there's some really good stuff in it. But when it came out, it was said that Fantasia was, I had to write this down exactly because it was the most erudite. Erudite, is that the word I want? I don't know. The review itself was like the review. You'll see what I'm saying. They said when it first came out that it was the portentousness was astounding. Plus, it had great, stunning visual virtuosity. In other words, it was a little highbrow, but it was really well done. And it was all that. In 1997, Lion King opened in New York. Not too long later, a friend of mine said, "Hey, I'm ordering tickets for Lion King when it comes to LA. Do you want me to order tickets?" Yes. And they were crazy expensive because it was going to be when Lion King first got here. So he was all excited because he got us tickets like in the first row center. Yeah. Not the place to be for Lion King. Have you ever seen Lion King? When they have all the people dressed as animals come from the back of the theater down each of the aisles to get to the stage, and there's this like magnificent parade of, well, human animals, but animals coming to the stage, and if you're sitting in the front row, you don't see any of it. Yeah, it's 3/4 over before you even realize something's going on, and then they're all like in your face. So we went back to see it again a few months later and sat up in the balcony, in the first row of the balcony, and thought that would be better, and it was better, but still not great. So we had to go see it a third time and see it like from the back of the theater because wasn't that big of a theater. You could see really well anyway. Anyway, it was great. It was. Lion King was awesome. I remember going out for Chinese food right before, and it was the first time I had been introduced. I knew about, or obviously about, starter plates, but I never heard them referred to as poo-poo platters before. And the kids who were with us thought it was the most hysterical name that food could possibly have. Like, why would you eat a poo-poo platter? You know what I mean? And speaking of why would you eat, okay, I apologize to those of you who love pineapple. But today is the day in 1895 when pineapple was first shipped out of Hawaii and to the mainland. Like, why waste your time? I'm not a big fan of pineapple. 1952, first false fingernails were sold. Looks like I could use some, huh? They're starting to grow a little bit. I mean, I'm trying to keep them clean and shiny. I just want them to get healthy. Oh, right around that same time in the 50s, Miss Germany, 18-year-old Miss Germany, was chosen to be Miss World. And apparently she resigned the next day. She like got crowned and then resigned the next day because her 52-year-old boyfriend proposed and she decided to marry him. I wonder how long that lasted. And I wonder how wealthy he was. Just saying. Don't know. All right, musically. In 2002, Eminem had a #1 song with Lose Yourself from 8 Mile, and it was the first time a rap song made it to #1. I like Eminem only because his mother called him Eminem, because his name was like Michael something. It started with an M. And what's interesting to me is my son, Michael Mador, I always called Eminem, but like the letter M&M, like the candy. He was always Eminem. So I always liked Eminem for that reason. Not a rap fan, but I like the name. Oh, musically. I mean, come on, who didn't love Sonny and Cher? All right, so she was great. He was a clown, but together they were adorable. It was so sad when they broke up. Their last performance was on the David Letterman show in 1987, and they did I Got You, Babe. I Got You, Babe. It's a good song. I miss Sonny and Cher as a duo. Here's the good news. You can always just say, Alexa, play I Got You, Babe. And then miracles happen. All of a sudden, you get exactly what you were asking for. Oh, Alexa, stop. She was going to play it for you, but I don't have the rights to it. And if I'm going to go back on Facebook Live, I don't want to take any chances. You know what I mean? All right. 1971, Three Dog Night, just an old-fashioned love song. And after that song became the big hit, Paul Williams, who wrote it, let the world know that he wrote that song in 20 minutes. Do you really believe that? Can you really write a whole song in 20 minutes? There are an awful lot of songwriters who claim that these ideas just come to them and they just go for it. I don't know. I mean, it's not the same with word art, but there are days when I'll think and think and think, what do I want to say? And there are other days when I just stand in front of my pad of paper and I'll do 6 in one day because the thoughts just keep coming and coming and coming. And I just like channel them. I don't know. Oh, 1976. Rod Stewart had a hit with Tonight's the Night. And it was banned by gazillions of radio stations for being sexually suggestive, which indeed it was. Something about spread your wings and yeah, anyway. All right. By the way, we went to dinner last night like at 5:30. You know what that means, don't you? Yeah, I think we're officially senior citizens now. But I was hungry. Come on, I at 5:30 I'd already been up for over 12 hours, right? It was time for another meal. Just saying. And we can go eat whenever we want because we're grown-ups, right? Okay, time for word art. Today's word art is so simple and it's so important. I love you. pass it on. Seriously. Let's see if that can go viral. I love you. Not for anything you did, not for anything you're going to do. I love you for being a human being. That's all. I just love you. I'm just filled with love and I'm sharing it. Okay, have a sip and a smile. Here's your sip. Here's your smile. I will see you on Relax No Shower Sunday tomorrow. Have an awesome Saturday. Bye, my friends. Bye, bye, bye. Maybe Facebook Live tomorrow. Let's hope. Bye-bye.